Good day and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to today's education based IHSAA Varsity Boys Baseball game. This radio coverage is made possible through audiosportsonline.net. That's ASO. That's Rob Kendall. Rob Kendall from the Kendall and Casey Show. That's weekday mornings, 9 to noon on 93.1 FM or go to WIBC.com. Today's game features the Riverton Park Panthers and the Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. This game was supposed to happen second game of the season for the Knights. This game was supposed to happen back on April 2nd, but they got rained out. That's a pretty good drive, Riverton Park and Central Catholic. That's about an hour and 15 minutes, maybe an hour and a half, is what Terry Bourdonnais said, and that's a pretty good drive last year. Central Catholic made the drive over there. So they play each other early in the season. They did play each other last year in the sectional. We'll mention the Knights going to go up and play the 2A bracket in the sectional. Riverton Park, they're in Class 1A, sectional 53. We'll talk about Riverton Park. We'll mention Riverton Park High School. That's Class 1A, sectional 53. There are 6 in their sectional. Riverton Park will host their sectional. Alphabetically in their sectional is the Attica Red Ramblers, Covington Trojans, Faith Christian Eagles, Fountain Central Mustangs, North Vermilion Falcons, Riverton Park Panthers. The principal at Riverton Park High School is Kyle Kersey. The athletic director, he's also the baseball coach. Very kind gentleman. I appreciate him. That's Charlie Martin. Riverton Park High School is located at 4907 South Coxville Road. That's Montezuma, Indiana, 47862. You can reach them by phone at 765-569-2045. They wear the collars blue, burgundy, and white. They're going with the burgundy jerseys tonight. They're gray numerals, and then we're going the light gray pants. They're in the Wabash River Conference. There are 8 teams in the Wabash River. Alphabetically, they are Attica Red Ramblers, Covington Trojans, Fountain Central Mustangs, North Vermilion Falcons, Park Heritage Wolves, Riverton Park Panthers, Seeger Patriots, South Vermilion Wildcats. The head coach of the Riverton Park Panthers baseball team is Mr. Charlie Martin. He is assisted by Travis Sutton, Chad Lawson, and Ben Porter. Now we'll talk a little bit about the Central Catholic Knights. Knights will mention their Class 2A, sectional 37. There are 7 in their sectional. And alphabetically, we'll mention the sectional is going to take place right here at Central Catholic High School. Alphabetically in their sectional, Benton Central Bison, Delphi Oracles, Central Catholic Knights, North Montgomery Chargers, Rensselaer Central Bombers, Seeger Patriots, Western Boone Stars. The principal at Central Catholic High School is Darrell Beck. The athletic director is Tim Bourdonnais. The assistant athletic director is Charlie Roberts. And I will mention the athletic trainer is Sarah Igo. Central Catholic High School is located at 2410 South 9th Street, Lafayette, Indiana, 47909. You can reach them by phone by dialing 765-474-2496. On the web, it's lccathletics.com. They wear the colors navy blue and white. They perform in the Hoosier Conference. There are 9 teams in the Hoosier Conference. Alphabetically, they are Benton Central Bison, Central Catholic Knights, Hamilton Heights Huskies, Logansport Berries, Rensselaer Central Bombers, Tipton Blue Devils, Twin Lakes Indians, West Lafayette Red Devils, Western Panthers. We'll mention the head coach at Central Catholic High School baseball team is Mr. Tim Bourdonnais. He's a 1987 graduate from Central Catholic. The assistants on the night staff, wearing number 21, that's A.J. Bourdonnais, 22, Kevin Donahoe, 26, Fred Rogers, 31, Will Isom, 43, David Sterrett, 44, John Anthrop, and 39, James Smith. So they're having a coaches meeting right there with the umpires. Couple of umpires on the field today, and then they're going over the ins and outs. And I will mention Central Catholic. I got to mention Max Preps. Max Preps, what a tremendous source for information for not just baseball players, coaches, but also media. We'll mention Max Preps is a division of CBS Sports. A lot of folks don't know that, but that's true. Incredibly done. Lafayette Central Catholic have 4 games scheduled this week. 3 of them are at home. 1 will be an away game. That away game will be a conference game. That's going to be Wednesday. They'll play the same team tomorrow. And tonight, it's going to be a 6 o'clock start Monday, the 21st, Riverton Park Panthers, right here, a home game. And then tomorrow night, it'll be a 5:30 start. It'll also be here. It'll be West Lafayette Red Devils in the house, and that'll be tomorrow, the 22nd. That will be a divisional conference game. And then they'll play West Lafayette as an away game on Wednesday. That'll be a 6 o'clock start on the 23rd of April. Happens to be my daughter Sierra's birthday. And I will mention again on Friday, their 4th game of the week is going to be a 6 o'clock start. On the 25th, that'll be at Lafayette Jeff. Take that back. That'll be a home game. That'll be here with Lafayette Jeff. And I will mention a little bit about Riverton Park. Riverton Park, they have 3 games scheduled this week. And they have this one with Central Catholic here on the 21st. And then they'll have one on the 23rd. That'll be Wednesday. They will be at Terre Haute, South Vigo. And that'll be on Wednesday at 6 o'clock start. And then a 5 o'clock start on Friday, the 25th. That'll be at South Vermilion. So Riverton Park, 3 away games this week in baseball. So they're talking it over right now. They're grooming the infield. They had batting practice. They had infield, outfield practice. So they're grooming the infield. They're dragging the infield, making it soft and subtle. And they're getting ready for baseball here in just a bit. We did have to take the airwaves a little bit early, about 5:30. We became live. You might have heard some background noise until about 10 minutes before 5. And baseball here at Central Catholic. As mentioned a year ago, Central Catholic traveled to Riverton Park. That was the first time for me. That is down there, Turkey Run area. And what a place to be. Riverton Park High School. Very nice setting. Very nice. I got to mention, I left my coat down there. It was cold early in the season. I left my coat down there, and athletic director, baseball coach, Charlie Martin sent that back to me. I reimbursed him for the postage, but that wasn't too bad. That was very kind of Coach Martin to do that. So we appreciate him more than he'll ever know. So they're talking a little bit right there. Home plate umpire, infield umpire, both shaking hands with Coach Charlie Martin, getting ready for some baseball here on a Monday. So both teams had a Monday open here on the 21st. So they're playing this rainout game that was supposed to happen back on the 2nd of April. Hey, if you didn't know, the Indiana Pacers, they won their first playoff game versus Milwaukee. That was Saturday. It started at 1 o'clock. They won that game. They beat Milwaukee. They had a 24-point lead. The Pacers did over Milwaukee at halftime. They extended it to 28 points, and they finally ended up winning a 19-point difference. So they're going to play again tomorrow night, Tuesday, 8 o'clock, again at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And then Friday night, they'll move it to Milwaukee. So they're going to introduce lineups right now. We'll do the same here in just a bit. We're going to have our national anthem here in a moment. We're going to have our opening prayer. And my wife says it's coming in loud and clear, and the wind isn't an issue. So that's very nice. Appreciate that. Wind is not an issue in this broadcast. We appreciate that. So Central Catholic and Riverton Park, they both have only one loss on the season. Central Catholic have a 4-game win streak intact. Riverton Park has a 5-game win streak intact. We'll mention the only loss for Central Catholic came in their 4th game versus Twin Lakes. Second of a 2-game set, conference game, divisional, as Twin Lakes got by Central Catholic. And then the only loss for Riverton Park was Terre Haute North Vigo. That was a April Fool's Day. That was their 2nd game of the season. That's their only loss. I'm going to set this down for opening prayer here in just a minute. They're going through some lineups right now. And then we'll go through them in just a bit. So they're going through the batting order. All the players lined up. We'll mention Riverton Park on the 3rd baseline. Knights on the 1st baseline, except for the starters. They're out in the field. 3 at the pitcher's mound, 3 beyond second base, and 3 in the outfield. So they're going through the lineup right now. That's Mr. Gerke. That's Ryan Gerke. He's a public address here at Central Catholic High School. He got 2 boys on the team. They're both going to start today. The pitcher is Jonah Gerke. And at first base, it'll be Lucas Gerke. We'll say that again here in just a minute. We're going to set this down.
Father, what happens to see things that last this changing world? Your eyes and we expect you. Help them be good students. Among us, this is an example of fair and just in all of their endeavors. Give them the strength and strength in the world. Yes, this is Christ the Lord.
That's our national anthem. That was Memorex. Sounded marvelous. So both teams going to adjourn to go to their respective dugouts. And I tell you what, it's busy. It is a busy night on a Monday here at Central Catholic. They've got softball beyond the home run fence here at baseball field. They've got track and field happening on the track over here to our right. And they got youth practice going on Looks like on the JV softball field, I would guess. So on the pitcher's rubber right now for Central Catholic, the Knights going to go with Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke wears number 14. Jonah Gerke will mention. He's 6'4", 185. He's a sophomore by class. Jonah Gerke has a 2.333 ERA. He's pitched 3 innings thus far this season. This is appearance number 2. This is game start number 2. He's faced 14 batters. He's thrown 64 pitches. He's got a 1 win, 0 losses on the season. He's given up 1 hit. He's given up 1 run. It was an earned run. He's walked 3 batters. He has struck out 3. 2 of them went down looking, and he's hit 1 batter. 1 hit by pitch along the way. We'll mention the catcher. Catcher for Jonah Gerke today, the battery partner, is Alex Schumer. He'll wear number 12. Playing first base is number 10, Lucas Gerke. At second base, number 9, Hudson Gutwine. At shortstop, number 11, Mikey Stapleton. At third base, number 33, DJ Gilkey. And in left field, it's number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. In center field, number 25, Vincent Talenko. And in right field, number 13, Calvin Reisman. We'll mention Jackson Kane will be the DH for the Knights. He'll bat in the 6th spot, and he'll bat in place of center fielder 25, Vincent Talenko. So they'll throw one down to second base. Knights and the Panthers. We're going to start off right now. Riverton Park Panthers. Going to step in. He's the leadoff batter in today's ball game, number 2, A.J. Goff. A.J. Goff, he's the first baseman. He'll be a left-handed batter. He'll step in here momentarily. The Knights put the ball in the glove of Jonah Gerke. Alex Schumer going to jog back behind home plate. So baseball on a Monday steps in, bit of an open stance. A.J. Goff. Here's the wind, first pitch from Gerke. Outside edge, strike called, 6:07 p.m. He'll step back in, 0-1 count, early going, just beginning. Top of the first inning, first batter, here's the pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck is Jonah Hopkins. He's the second baseman. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody out. First batter here in the top of the first is A.J. Goff. Here comes the 2-1. Outside, ball 3. 3-1 count. Hitters count. A.J. Goff, he knows he's got to bring a strike. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside, low, ball 4. So Goff draws a 5-pitch walk. He'll jog down to first base, and the lights are on here at Central Catholic. Gordon Lemming Field. This field was named the nicest field in the nation back in 2019. It's quite a respect for the field here at Lafayette. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Now the set. Gerke. First pitch to Hopkins. You're going to pop one up. It's playable. It's on the field of play. It's going to be called for by Lucas Gerke. He'll come in and make the catch in their territory, about 30 feet from home plate. There's 1 out here in the top of the first. Staying put at first base is A.J. Goff. Next batter going to step in. He's the 3-hitter, number 5, Charlie Belcher. Charlie Belcher plays third base for Coach Martin. A little bit of an open stance. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Now the set. First pitch. They're going to get him a rundown. Stepping off the rubber. They're going to throw to second base. And they're going to call him safe. Didn't get the tag on him. Hudson Gutwine tried to tag him about 10, 12, maybe 15 feet from the bag. But pretty good maneuvering for the runner. A.J. Goff did what he could, and he got safe to second. So they were stepping off the back of the rubber. And A.J. Goff was taken off to steal, and they got him in a rundown. And now he's safe at second. So still 1 out. Now batting number 5, Charlie Belcher. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch across the dish. First pitch to Belcher is a called strike. No balls, one strike. Very few signals given by Coach Martin, third base coach. Out of set position. Jonas checks second base. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch, tight for ball one. One ball, one strike. He'll step back in, tap the plate, far and near. That's Charlie Belcher, three-hitter for the Panthers. Out of set, he'll check second. Here's the pitch. Going to take one to right center. It's going to get down. It's going to get the gap. Going to get by both outfielders. He'll pick it up on the track. That's Kalenko coming around to score from second base. Is A.J. Goff. And the Panthers are on the board. It's a two-base hit off the bat of Charlie Belcher and an RBI. So a little helicopter action in the sky. You might have heard that thumping. So he'll put the running mitt on. That's Charlie Belcher. He's at second base, stepping in. He's going to be the four-hitter. Number 17, Derek Collum. Derek Collum will do the pitching in today's ballgame for Riverton Park. Peering in out of stretch. Now the set position. Check second base. Here's the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Going to call a foul tip. Foul tip off the glove. Everything's right. Schumer tracks it down, left side, about 15 feet from the home plates. Count goes 0-1. No balls, one strike. Derek Collum, left-handed batter. Out of set position, check second base. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. One ball, one strike. Central Catholic High School hosting Riverton Park Panthers. Peering in out of the stretch. Looking at the signals. Now out of set position. Jonah Gerke's checks second. Here's the pitch. Right across the dish. Knee high. Outside half. Count goes 1-2. One ball, two strikes. One out, one run in here for Riverton Park in the top of the first. Out of set, check second. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. 2-2 count. Two balls, two strikes. Four-hitter, number 17, Derek Collum. He'll do the pitching for the Panthers. Out of set position, Gerke. He'll check second. Here comes a 2-2. Outside, ball three. 3-2 count. Payoff pitch on the way. Jonah Gerke steps in, peers in, looks at signals, out of stretch. Now the set position. Check second. Here's the 3-2. Swung on you, foul one straight back over our head. We've got a good vantage point. It's very thankful to be here. We're on top of the press box, straight back behind home plate. We're probably elevated about 20 feet off the surface. Three balls, two strikes. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Played at first base by Lucas Gerke. He'll step on the bag for the second out. But Charlie Belcher will move to third base. Next batter going to step in, the five-hitter, number 1, Eli Roberts. Eli Roberts, he'll be the shortstop for the Panthers. Right-handed batter steps in. A little bit of an open stance. Peering in, looking at signals. Jonah Gerke out of the set position. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. Didn't get the grip. High and tight, ball one. One ball, no strikes. Steps back in. Right-handed batter. Facing the righty, Jonah Gerke. Here's the pitch. Inside and tight. Going to get by the glove of Schumer. Going to jog in, tap the plate. Right there. And it's going to be score number 2. That was Charlie Belcher. Charlie Belcher scores the second run here in the top of the first for the Panthers. So clears the bases. Count goes 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Jonah going to pitch from the windup. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. 3 balls, no strikes. On deck batter is number 4, Kyle Price. Working now the wind up. Here comes the 3-0. Right down Meridian, strike called. Taken all the way was Eli Roberts. He'll step back in a 3-1 count. 2 outs, top of the first inning. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Jonah Gerke going to issue a second walk here in the top of the first. Kind of pitching across his body. So timeout on the field. And then Coach Borden is going to walk out, talk with his infield. And we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies, you can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com or stop in if only to browse around. 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. They've got trophies, awards, plaques, and more. They have fast turnaround. Prices are low. They're so low you may want to be a repeat customer. It's Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana, 46060. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reach them by phone at 317-773-7391. Stepping back in the rubber, working from the stretch, now the set. Here comes a pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. 6-hitter for Riverton Park, number 4, Kyle Price. Runner at first base is Eli Roberts. Working out the stretch, now the set. Here comes a pickoff move. First base, got him. Good pickoff move, and just off balance right there is going to get him out of there. And that's Eli Roberts picked off at first base. Kyle Price will bat first in the top of the second. He'll have a brand new count. So, Riverton Park, they put 2 on the board here in the top of the first. And the Knights are going to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. We'll also mention today's ball game being brought to you in parts by Scott G. That's Scott Gagshaw. When time is good, when you share, you should. Share and share alike. Support Indiana middle school and high school baseball. On the pitcher's rubber, as mentioned, doing the pitching today is Derek Collum. Derek Collum is a lefty. Derek Collum wears number 17. He's a sophomore, so 2 sophomore pitchers going at it here today. Derek Collum, he's 5'9", 165. Derek Collum, we'll mention, on the season, he's got a 1.75 ERA. He's won 1 game. He has not lost a game. He's 1-0. This is appearance number 2. This is a game start number 2. So these pitchers pretty much identical. Both of them starting their second game. Total innings that Derek Collum has pitched so far is 4. He's given up 3 hits. He's given up 3 runs. 1 of those runs were earned. He's given up 4 base on balls. He has struck out 4. And he has faced 19 batters. And he's thrown a total of 74 pitches. So both these pitchers pretty close right here in the pitching department. So the Knights are going to send to the plate the first batter was going to be Hudson Gutwine. Gutwine will bat first. They'll throw it to second base. The catcher is Bruce Landis. He wears number 18. First base, number 2, A.J. Goff. Second base, number 8, Jonah Hopkins. Shortstop, number 1, Eli Roberts. Third base, number 5, Charlie Belcher. Left field, number 14, Colette Sanders. Center field, number 12, Carson Stark. In right field, number 4, Price. That's Kyle Price. First pitch comes in low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Knights batting in the bottom of the first inning. It's a 2-run ball game. Panthers came up with 2 in the top half. Here's the pitch. Outside and tall, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Hudson Gutwine batting for the Knights here in the bottom of the first inning. A step back in, working from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. Didn't get the grip he wanted. He's working from the stretch. Nobody on base, primarily thought of as a relief pitcher. So 3 balls, no strikes. Gutwine stands in. Sometimes he has the green lights, and that ball finishes outside and low, ball 4. So Gutwein draws a 4-pitch walk after A.J. Goff drew a 5-pitch walk, and Coach Martin going to walk out. I'm going to talk with his pitcher, see if everything's okay. So they're going to meet there at the pitcher's rubber, talk some things over, and we'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by McCormick Printing. We'll mention before we dive back into action, we want to spotlight a business that's been printing success in our community for 50 incredible years. That's McCormick Printing Impressions. We'll finish that up in a moment. Stepping into bat for the Knights, number 12, Alex Schumer, working from the stretch. Derek Collum, out of the set. He'll check first. Here's the pitch. Schumer squares early, pulls the bat back. It's a ball. Ball outside. Count goes 1-0 to Schumer. So they'll step back in. Schumer, left-handed batter, facing the lefty. A square early. Here's the pitch. Going to short out the plate. And they're going to be off the body there of Bruce Landis, the catcher. And Hudson Gutwein jogs down to second base. So the Knights have a runner in scoring position. That's Hudson Gutwein. Stepping back in, Alex Schumer. Out of the set, here comes the 2-0 pitch. They're called a strike, inside edge. Count goes 2-1. Stepping in the rubber in a hurry, peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch is Derek Collum. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Ground ball, severely pulled that one. First base dugout. Ball caroms out to first base. So Knights occupying the first base dugout. Riverton Park, the third base dugout. Count goes 2-2. Out of the set, that checks second base a couple times. Here's the pitch. High and tight, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I will mention Riverton Park has some pitchers with some impressive ERAs. 4 of them. Out of the set, here's the pitch. It'll be ball 4. So Alex Schumer jogs to first base. The ball gets by the catcher. And jogging over to third base is Hudson Gutwein. So the Knights have 2 aboard, nobody out. We're going to see a courtesy runner. It's going to be Bourdonnais. So Mr. Bourdonnais going to do the base running, and then he's going to step in. Right now, Lucas Gerke at first base doing the running is Ali Bourdonnais. Where's number 20? We're going to try a pickoff move. They're going to call balk. He stayed in front of the rubber, and he tried to fake to first. It was almost like a 31, but he's a lefty. So he stepped towards first. He kept that right foot, that left foot in front of the rubber. He faked to first. You can't do that. You got to step off the back in order to fake to first. So run comes in to score. Hudson Gutwein puts the first run on the board for the Knights. It's a 2-1 contest. Knights batting bottom of the first, nobody out. Runner at second base is Ali Bourdonnais. Pitch comes in tall for a ball. So Jonah Gerke doing the pitching, but Lucas Gerke batting third here for the Knights. He's the first baseman. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Foul ball, just barely down the first baseline. So the count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jogging back to second base is Ali Bourdonnais. Working from the stretch. Now the set. He'll check second. Derek Collum. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be hit by pitch. So Lucas Gerke is going to jog down to first base. That'll put base runners at first and second for the Knights. I will say Riverton Park has some bullpen activity. Next batter in the lineup for the Knights is going to be number 11, Mikey Stapleton. Right-handed batter. He's the 4-hitter. Working from the stretch, peering in, looking at signals. Derek Collum. He'll check the base. He'll check second again. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Bullpen activity. Down there is number 22, Brody McConnell. He's another sophomore pitcher. He's getting loose. Out of the set, he'll check second base. Here comes the pitch from Collum. Swung on, he'll drive one to center field. He's going to back up the center fielder. Warning track is going to bounce up against the base of the wall. And it's going to be a stand-up double. They're going to throw the plate, try to get the runner, and they're going to say he's out of there. Tag the foot right there prior to getting to the base. That was Ali Bourdonnais. So he does end up at second base. Going to be a double off the bat of Mikey Stapleton. So Mikey Stapleton picks up his first extra base hit of the season. He's got 7 hits to this point. Stepping into bat, DJ Gilkey. They're going to call time. Ball got loose from the bullpen. They'll throw it back out. DJ Gilkey, left-handed batter. Runners at second and third base, 1 out for the Knights. Out of set, here comes the pitch. High and tight, ball 1. So, but the Knights batters are on their toes in this bottom half of the first inning. Peering in, looking at signals. Derek Collum out of set. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Going to pop one up. It's going to float out of play. Foul ball. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. DJ Gilkey. DJ Gilkey plays third base for Central Catholic, working out a stretch. Peering in, looking at signals. Catcher is Bruce Landis. Still out of stretch. He'll check third base. Nobody holding him on. Out of set. Going to fake a throw to third base. Held the baseball. He'll step back in. Check third out of the stretch. Out of the set position. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Inside and tight. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Center fielder Carson Stark playing severely for DJ Gilkey to pull the baseball. Out of the set position. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Going to be a foul ball. Going to be a fair ball. Hit the ball. He's going to get an RBI. He's going to be thrown out at first base. He gets thrown out, but he was ducking for high pitch, left the bat upward. The ball hit the bat. It was a fair ball. Commonly, an umpire can call that early and think it was going to be a foul ball. I've done that myself. Called it a foul ball one time last year, and it ended up fair. We had to keep it foul because I said foul. Once a ball's called foul, it is foul for eternity. So then they walk out, have conversation at the pitcher's rubber. Counts 2 and 2. I take that back. Going to have a new batter, next batter for the Knights. Here in just a minute, going to be number 3, Jackson Kane. So they're going to go with the relief pitcher. They're going to jog in from the bullpen area. And as we know, that's going to be number 22, Brody McConnell. Brody McConnell listed as a pitcher and a third baseman. He bats right. He throws right. He's 5'10", 150. Brody McConnell, he's got a 2.10 ERA. He's got 1 win. He has not lost a game. They've only got 1 loss on their season. And that came to the feet of Charlie Belcher. He's playing third base in today's ball game. And on 22, Brody McConnell. This is going to be appearance number 4. He has 1 start on the season. He's pitched 10 innings this season. He's given up 11 hits, 8 runs. 3 of those runs were earned. He's walked 3. He has struck out 13 batters. He's faced 48 batters, and he's thrown 162 pitches. He's got some velocity. He's a righty. And Jackson Kane going to be the next batter in the lineup here in just a moment. And we'll finish McCormick Printing. We'll begin from the beginning. Before we dive back into action, we want to spotlight a business that's been printing success in our community for 50 incredible years. McCormick Printing Impressions. From business cards to banners, t shirts to office supplies, MPI is your local full service print shop, delivering quality, great service, and creativity in every project. Family owned and operated for 2 generations, MPI knows that your first impression matters, so they make sure it's a good one. Next time you need something printed with perfection, turn to MPI because McCormick Printing Impressions, they don't just print, they help you make your best first impression. McCormick Printing, they're in Tipton. They are good. They print for Put Me in Sports. They print for Sign Production. They are darn good and they are conscientious. They print everything as if they're printing it for themselves. So jogging out, going through some signals right there. Bruce Landis, catcher for Riverton Park, having some conversation with Brody McConnell. Brody McConnell, where's number 22? He's going to pitch right-handed style. And you've seen those pitchers that can pitch with both arms. They are incredible. It does happen. Incredible. Stepping in, Jackson Kane. Runner at third base for the Knights is Mikey Stapleton. First pitch, going to take one to right field. Going to have some air under it. It's going to be called for right there by Kyle Price. And he'll catch it for the third out in the inning. Knights come up with 2. They tie the ball game at the end of 1 complete. Riverton Park, 2. Central Catholic, 2. And I will also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Honey Creek Resort. Honey Creek Resort, what a beautiful place to be. Plan your vacation or maybe a weekend getaway. Honey Creek Resort with 840 acres of fantastic nature, fun, and recreation adventures are only 1 day's drive away. Honey Creek Resort in southern Iowa, where fellow Hoosiers Beth and Terry Henderson have an amazing lodge and cabins with fabulous fishing, boating, golfing, horse carriages, and much, much more. Truly amazing adventures and hospitality await you at honeycreekresort.com. Make your group, business, and family getaway reservations today. You can call them at 641 724 1450. Again, 641 724 1450. Check them out, honeycreekresort.com. I have been there. My wife's been there. We were together. What a beautiful place. You will be amazed. Indoor water park. Your kids will have fun. Going to throw one down to second base. Frozen rope from the right hand of Alex Schumer. So stepping back in, brand new count, 6-hitter Kyle Price. Kyle Price wears number 4. Kyle Price caught that final out in the bottom of the third out there in right field. Right-handed batter. So back behind home plate, Alex Schumer. Pitching from the windup, Jonah Gerke. How the windup, first pitch to Price. He'll take one the other way and go to right field. Right at the right fielder, Calvin Reisman. And Reisman moves to his left, makes the catch. There's one out. Next batter in the lineup, 7-hitter for Riverton Park, number 12, Carson Stark. Carson Stark is the center fielder. A little bit of an open stance. He's wearing those New Balance shoes. They are good shoes. Pitch comes in, outside half, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. Steps back in, righty facing the righty. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. 7-hitter for the Panthers. Number 12, Carson Stark. Spells Carson with a K. Here comes the pitch. Outside and low, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the second inning. Track going on over there. Looked like might be the junior high, the middle school track. Foul ball back to the screen. Count is 1-2. He'll stay 1-2. He'll step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the windup, 1 foot on, 1 foot off. Jonah Gerke. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. He's gonna foul one back here. Nearly got us at the top of the press box here. Got the fence in front of me. Knocked my phone over. He's right on time. 1-2 count. Steps back in. Carson Stark. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes low and away. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Steps back in. Right-handed batter. Carson Stark. Here comes the wind and the 2-2. Gonna foul another one. Straight back. He's just underneath the baseball. 7-hitter. I said, what 7-hitter? That's where Dave Concepcion batted for the most part for the Reds, the big red machine. Here comes the wind and the 2-2 again. Going to be hit by pitch. Going to be inside and tight. Going to get him in the back. He'll jog to first base. So Carson Stark gets aboard. Fouls a few off. Hit by pitch. He'll jog down. And the next batter in the lineup going to be the 8-hitter for Riverton Park, Ben Todd. Ben Todd is the designated hitter. He's batting in place of defensive player, number 14, left fielder, Colette Sanders. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Checks first. Now the set position. First pitch. Inside half, strike called. Tried to swing and checked his swing. It's a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Ben Todd batting, right-handed batter. Out of the set position, Jonah Gerke. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball. Third base. Fielded there by DJ Gilkey. He's going to go to second base, get the force out, get the lead runner. And the out is recorded. There are 2 out here in the top of the second. So fielder's choice off the bat of Ben Todd. Ben Todd is at first base. Next batter going to step in, the 9-hitter for Riverton Park, number 18, Bruce Landis. Bruce Landis is the catcher. Going to put that right foot back on the back part of the chalk right there, closer to the umpire. He'll step off the back, does Gerke. He'll reset. He'll step back in. Stretch position, peering in, looking at signals from Alex Schumer. Now out of the set position. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut. Count goes 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Runner at first base is Ben Todd for Riverton Park. There are 2 out. Top of the second inning. Out of the stretch, now the set. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball, out of play. So no balls, 2 strikes. Just step back in. Bruce Landis was number 18. He's the catcher for the Panthers. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set position. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. He'll go down swinging. And the Knights get out of the inning. Riverton Park leaves 1 aboard. They come up with no runs. At the end of 1.5, Riverton Park 2, Central Catholic 2. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in part being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment, they are family owned and operated since 1955. You can increase your yield. They've got tractors, combines, corn pickers, lawnmowers, etc. Genuine John Deere equipment. New and used equipment available. Extraordinarily the best in the business. Reynolds, right there at Reynolds, you can visit them at their Atlanta, Indiana location. That's right on US 31 at 1451 East 276th Street, Atlanta, Indiana. It's just 2 miles south of the Tipton-Hamilton County line. Reynolds Farm Equipment, they have 5 total locations, state of Indiana. You can reach Reynolds Farm Equipment by dialing 800 333 6947. Again, 800 333 6947. Their Atlanta, Indiana store is, you can reach them at 317 758 4116. So stepping in for the Knights, going to bat in the bottom half of the second inning is number 41. He's a seven hitter, Brennan Van Kirk. He plays left field for the Knights. So pitching from the windup, number 22, Brody McConnell for the Panthers. Both feet on the rubber. Here comes the wind and the pitch. He's going to take one to center field. Going to get out to center field. He stepped in, kind of read it incorrectly, stepped in, had to go back over his head, picked it up at the warning track. It's going to be a two-base hit off the bat of Brennan Van Kirk. And Brennan Van Kirk, he had, before that at bat, he had 10 hits. They were all singles. And now he has one extra base hit. He's at second base. Stepping into bat, number 14, Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke, runner in scoring position, going to try to help himself as the pitcher. Here comes the pitcher, going to square the bunt. Pitches inside, pulls the bat back, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Knights have one runner aboard. He's at second base, Brennan Van Kirk. Out of the stretch, now the set position, Brody McConnell. Checks second base. Here comes the pitch. He's going to square the bunt. Pulls the bat back. It's low. Gets by the catcher. He'll find it in the grass to his right and behind him. And then moving over to third base for the Knights is Van Kirk. 2 balls, no strikes. On deck for the Knights, 9-hitter number 13, Calvin Reisman. Stepping back in, left-handed batter, Jonah Gerke. Out of the stretch, now the set for McConnell. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Count goes 3-0. Jonah Gerke probably has the take sign. He's going to take this pitch. Not going to be swinging. Out of the set. Home plate is wide open for McConnell. And he finds it. Strike called. 3 balls, 1 strike. He'll peer in out of the stretch. Look at signals from Bruce Landis, the catcher. Out of the set. Here comes the 3-1. Ground ball, second base. Jonah Hopkins fields it. He'll throw to first base. A run will score. That's Van Kirk. It's going to be an RBI off the bat of Jonah Gerke. He'll be thrown out at first base. There's 1 out. Bases are empty. Next batter in the lineup for the Knights is going to be number 13, Calvin Reisman. Straightaway stance, maybe a little bit on the instep, a little bit closed. Working out of the windup. Derek Collum, here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch might have been a fastball. Swing and a miss. Might have been a little bit upstairs. So count goes 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Calvin Reisman, he plays right field for the Knights. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out. Bottom of the second inning. Knights have 1 run in here in the second. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking pitch. A little bit out in front of it. Took a little bit off of that one. Brody McConnell doing the pitching. Came in last inning for Derek Collum. We're now the windup. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Going to pop one foul out of play, right side. So he'll stay in the box. He'll protect the zone. Calvin Reisman, 1-2 count once again. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the windup, Brody McConnell. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hudson Gutwine is on deck. He's the 1-hitter for the Knights. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the windup, long peer. Here comes a wind. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Outside edge, strike called. So he'll go down looking, to walk back to the dugout. And the Knights have 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Knight's going to step in with Hudson Gutwine. Hudson Gutwine, he's played in 6 games. They have had 7. He was a little bit under the weather in 1 game. He's batting .471, a .640 on base percentage. First pitch, breaking pitch in there for a strike. Gutwine entered this game with 25 at-bats, 17 official at-bats. He's got 8 hits. 4 are singles, 4 are doubles. Pitch comes in just outside, ball 1. 1-1 count. Gutwine has 6 RBI. He's been walked 6 times. That was entering today's ball game. He scored 15 runs for the Knights. He's the only player in double figures in runs scored. Pitch comes in, a ball. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the wind and the pitch for McConnell. He's going to pop one up. Foul territory. It's going to be barely in the field of play, but I think it landed in the Knights dugout. Difficult catch to make, but giving it a good look right there was Bruce Landis, the catcher. 2-2 count to Gutwine, 2 outs. Pitcher from the windup, Brody McConnell. Here comes the wind and the 2-2. Breaking pitch finishes above the zone, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. On deck is Alex Schumer. He's got his gear on. He's actually got his his pads on below the waist there. And they're going to jog down. It's going to be ball 4. So Schumer's going to bat next. He's a 2-hitter. And Schumer's going to walk out. He's going to deliver a couple of baseballs to the home plate umpire. And he'll step in, left-handed batter. A couple of signals being given there by Coach Bourdonnais. Hudson Gutwine might be on his horse, trying to get to second base in scoring position. Out of the set position. Checks first base. McConnell. He'll step off the back. McConnell knows he's the 1-hitter. He's got some wheels. Hudson Gutwine is at first base. And Hudson Gutwine leads the team with 6 stolen bases. He's not been thrown out. Here comes a pitch. He's taking off for second base. Bruce Landis dropped the baseball trying to throw it to second. So Gutwine picks up stolen base number 7 on the season. And the Knights on the season have only been thrown out 1 time, and that belongs to Jonah. Here comes a pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Count goes 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Schumer only needs 1. McConnell only needs 1. Out of the set, he'll check second. Check it again. Here comes the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. It's going to stay around home plate. Might have got off the lower leg of Schumer. Home plate umpire going to walk out. Give Schumer a chance to gather himself. He's okay, but it's customary for a home plate umpire to give some time. He shared some words with McConnell, the pitcher. They're all good. You know they are. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base for the Knights is Hudson Gutwine. Knights have 1 run in here in the second. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Going to foul one left side out of play. It's going to get the adjacent property owner. It'll be difficult to track that one down. So left-handed batter, Alex Schumer. Peering in, looking at signals, out of the stretch. Brody McConnell. Out of the set position, he'll check second. Here comes the second 0-2 pitch to Schumer. High above the zone. Ball 1. Hey, that went on the other side. You ain't gonna get that one. So ball went out of the other side. Jogging out, trying to come up with a baseball. They're going to call time at home plate. And then home plate umpire will step back behind the catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Peering in, look at the signals out of the stretch. Now the set, check second base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Going to pop one up on the infield. Hudson Gutwein, it's going to be my drop, difficult play to make, and it drops behind third base in the grass. Difficult run for Eli Roberts, and it's going to drop a base hit. And see, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but I think Alex Schumer is both. So Schumer's going to give way to courtesy runner, and running back out there is Mr. Bourdonnais. So Bourdonnais going to run for the second time. And that is Ali Bourdonnais doing the running. He's 5'7", 160. He's a freshman pitcher and an outfielder. Out of the set, here comes the pitch from McConnell. And Lucas Gerke going to drive one to right field, trying to make the catch. Coming in to make the catch. Couldn't make it. Was right fielder Kyle Price. And he had to try to kind of somewhat dive for it. He couldn't come up with it. It's going to be a base hit. Taking second base on the throw. Right there is Gerke. He's going to get credit for a single. And he's going to get credit for an RBI as Hudson Gutwein comes in to score. So it's a 4-2 ball game. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Knights batting with 2 out. Runners at second and third. Stepping into bat, Mikey Stapleton. Breaking pitch, well positioned. Well-placed breaking pitch taken for a strike. Count goes 0-1 to Stapleton. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of stretch. Now the set position. Checks the bases. Checks second a second time. Here's the pitch. The short off the glove. Good block by catcher Bruce Landis. Saved a run for sure. Runners at second and third base. Ali Bourdonnais is at third base. At second base is Lucas Gerke. 1 ball, 1 strike to Stapleton. Out of the set, McConnell. Here comes the pitch. You're going to pop one up, playable, first base side. Be called for by the first baseman. And A.J. Goff makes the catch. Couple of steps out in the grass. So the Knights are out of the inning. And we'll mention Riverton Park going to come into bat in the top half of the third after 2 completes. Knights 4, Panthers 2. And again, we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll mention this game is also in parts being brought to you by AGM Auto. That's AGM Auto, LLC. At AGM Auto, you'll not only be treated with pure professionalism, you'll appreciate their state-of-the-art diagnostics and their up-to-date status of each of their AGM technicians. And AGM Auto does not only work under the hood, AGM works toward the recovery and restoration. They do restoration of many now beautiful cars, which have become showroom treasures mechanically and cosmetically. Your car could be next. To contact AGM Auto, you can dial them at 317-984-5283. That's 317-984-5283. You can find them on Facebook at AGM Auto LLC or online, agmautollc.com. And we'll mention they're just west of Arcadia, 266th Street, about a mile west of Arcadia. So the Knights going to throw the ball around the horn. They're going to meet at the pitcher's mound right there. They're going to talk this over. And the Knights are going to play defensively here in the top of the third inning. First batter going to step in for Riverton Park is going to be number 2, A.J. Goff. A.J. Goff on the season in 7 games. He's batting .267. He's got a .593 on-base percentage. First pitch from Gerke in there for a strike. Goff has 27 plate appearances, 15 at-bats. He's got 4 hits Three are singles. He's got one triple. Pitch comes in. Good block by Schumer. Count goes 1-1. Goff on the season, he's reached base on balls 6 times. He's team leader. Also with 6 is number 5, Charlie Belcher. Pitch comes in. He's going to pop it skyward. High fly ball, center field. Called for by Talenko. And Talenko makes the catch. There's one out here in the top of the third inning. Next batter going to step in. Going to be Jonah Hopkins. He wears number 8. He's second baseman. Jonah Hopkins has played in 6 of the 7 games. He's batting .412, .524 on base percentage. Breaking pitch in there by Jonah Gerke in there for a strike. So number 8, Jonah Hopkins facing number 14, Jonah Gerke. Pitch comes in low. Good block by Schumer. Count goes 1-1. So Jonah Hopkins, we'll also mention, he's got 7 hits on the season. 4 singles, 3 doubles. He's got 4 RBI. Pitch comes in high and tight. Ball 2. 2-1 count to Hopkins. Hopkins has scored 4 runs on the season. Here's the pitch. Outside edge takes a wave at it. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Take that back. 2-2. 2-2 count, 1 out. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Breaking pitch. Locked him up. Didn't swing. Strike called. And there are 2 out here in the top of the third. Next batter going to step in. 3-hitter number 5, Charlie Belcher. Plays third base. As mentioned, 6 base on balls. He's batting .250, .464 on base percentage. First pitch from Gerke is low for ball 1. Charlie Belcher has been to the plate 28 times, 20 official at-bats. He's got 5 hits, 2 singles, 3 doubles. Pitch comes in outside and tall, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. He's got 5 RBI on the season. He has scored 5 runs. Here comes the pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-0 count to Charlie Belcher. Belcher has reached base twice by air, and he's been hit by pitch twice. Pitch comes in. He's going to fly one. Left field, shallow. Going to be called for by Mikey Stapleton, shortstop, and he'll be called off. He'll be called off by Brennan Van Kirk, the last available moment, and Van Kirk makes the catch. So the Knights are out of the inning. Riverton Park leave no runners aboard. They get no hits here in the top of the third. After 2.5 innings, Central Catholic 4, Riverton Park 2. And we'll also mention this game is in part being brought to you by Fritz in Fishers. That's Fritz in Fishers and Fritz in Noblesville. They are celebrating 43 years in business. In the heart of the Nickel Plate District, they have late model cars and trucks. Each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. 2 Hamilton County locations. Their first location is in Fishers at 8599 East 116th Street. You can dial them up in Fishers at 317-842-2228. Their second location is on State Road 32 between Noblesville and Westfield. So you can reach them there by dialing 317-773-2232. And as we'll mention, you can get them online. It's fritzinfishers.com. So Brody McConnell back out getting some warm-up tosses. Knights are going to bat in the bottom of the third inning. So the Knights going to step in here momentarily. First batter is going to be DJ Gilkey. And tell you what, Central Catholic Knights, Riverton Park Panthers, doing pretty well. We'll mention Central Catholic out of the gate. They win against Bishop Chittard. Got a 9-3 win. That was on April Fool's Day. Riverton Park out of the gates, they got Crawfordsville, the Athenians. And that was on March 31st. Go figure, the state of Indiana. As a 2-1 decision, Riverton Park. We're going to have the windup. First pitch, McConnell to Gilkey. Inside and low, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. A second game out of the gate, Terre Haute, North Vigo handed Riverton Park their only loss on the season. They played 7 games. They're 6-1. They're 4-0 in the Wabash River Conference. Timeout called at home plate. Central Catholic second game, that was on the 3rd of April. McCutcheon. That was a rain out. It was postponed. Not sure they'll make that up. Going to go to right center field, right at the center fielder, Carson Stark, playing DJ Gilkey perfect to pull the baseball. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So they're working it out right there. We'll mention the Attica game. We'll talk about the Attica game with Central Catholic here in just a moment. And we'll let you know that game has been changed. The date of the game has been bumped up a week earlier. Pitch from McConnell. Inside and low. In the batter's box for the Knights, number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane going to step back in. Batting .333 with a .500 on base percentage. Ground ball. Going to go second base. Drop the baseball. Picks it back up. It's too late. Jackson Kane is at first base, but he will reach on air. And I will say the second baseman, Jonah Hopkins, was playing Jackson Kane to pull the baseball. His position when the pitch was thrown was just behind second base. Kind of looked like the shift was on right there, but it was definitely on. We're going to have a stretch. Now the set. Next batter in the lineup, Brennan Van Kirk. Out of the set. He'll check first base. Here comes the pitch. It'll be low and short hop the glove of Landis. By that time, Jackson Kane was on his way to second base. So Jackson Kane at second base. There's 1 out. Bullpen activity for the Knights down the right field line. We're going to have a stretch. Now the set. He'll check second base. Brody McConnell. Here's the pitch. Van Kirk, healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steps back in. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set position. Checks second base. Checks it again. Here's the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. Count goes 1-2. Brennan Van Kirk, he's batting .526 in that right-handed batter's box. That's in 7 games. 22 plate appearances, 19 at-bats, .545 on-base percentage. Out of the set, here comes the 1-2 pitch to Van Kirk. Swing and a miss, breaking pitch. He'll jog back to the dugout. Van Kirk entered that at-bat with 11 hits. He got a double his first time at the plate. So next batter going to step in for the Knights, 8-hitter. Number 14, Jonah Gerke. Jonah Gerke going to step in. Jonah Gerke has 1 RBI on the season. He scored 2 runs. He's got a stolen base. He's the only Knight that has been thrown out trying to steal a base. Here comes the pitch. Going to float one out of play, left side, over the dugout. Going to get the top of the dugout for Riverton Park. So no balls, 1 strike. 2 out for the Knights, batting in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4-2 ball game. Knights got 2 in the 1st and the 2nd. Riverton Park got 2 in the top of the 1st. Here comes the pitch, taking off for third base. Jackson Kane, he'll slide in head first. Safe. They throw down, they put the tag on him, just behind Jackson Kane getting to third base. So the count goes 0-2. It was a called strike. Jonah Gerke batting, left-handed batter. Facing the righty, Brody McConnell. for Riverton Park. Out of the set. Here comes the pitch. Going to foul one left side. It's going to be playable, but hard to get to for the third baseman, Charlie Belcher. So it's going to drop for a foul ball over by home plate, bullpen area. And the count remains 0-2. Jackson Kane has that front of the jersey all dirty now from the head first slide to third. Peering in, looking at signals. Brody McConnell out of the set. He'll check third base. Nobody holding Jackson on. Here's the pitch. Going to foul another one. This one will go out of play left side. And they'll track that one down. Count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on deck for the Knights. 9-hitter, number 13, Calvin Reisman. Out of the set is McConnell. Here comes the 0-2 again. You're going to float one again out of play. Left side, going to get the light pole and bounce back in. So no balls, 2 strikes. Jonah Gerke protecting the zone. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Brody McConnell out of the set position. He'll check third base. Here comes the 0-2. Foul tip. Couldn't hold it. That was Bruce Landis. If he'd held that foul tip, it'd have been strike 3. So another foul ball from Gerke. 0-2 count once again. Shortstop, that's Eli Roberts, playing pretty close to second base there, right behind us. Out of the set for McConnell. The 0-2 pitch again to Gerke. You're going to take one the other way. It's going to go foul, a little bit more of a line drive. Right across the pitcher's rubber at the bullpen area down the left field line. So Gerke is probably setting a record for foul balls. It used to be a record in MLB. Used to be 14 foul balls in 1 at-bat. I believe it's more than that now. It's been broken. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. You're going to take one to right field. You're going to be right at near the left fielder, but center fielder was playing the pull, and Carson Stark, center fielder, makes the catch. So the Knights are out of the inning. Knights could not muster up a run. So both teams, Riverton Park and Central Catholic, in the third inning have zeroed. And after 2, after 2 is 4-2. And now after 3, Knights 4, Panthers 2. And we'll also mention this game is in parts being brought to you by Discount Copies. Discount Copies, they are conveniently located at the west edge of Noblesville, Indiana. That's 46062. They're just behind Pizza Hut and next to Bowl 32. That's along State Road 32 in Noblesville. At Discount Copies, they provide set-up services where you can turn your artwork. You can turn them into things such as note cards, notepads, prints, and calendars. And it's never too early to think about personalized Christmas cards, posters, and oversized printing also available. They do blueprints. They do prints. They sure do. I've seen that happen. And also, if you're planning a wedding, they can print all of your necessary needs. You can reach Discount Copies by phone 317-773-8783. Again, that's 317-773-8783. Or by email. That's Discount Copies, the number 96 at gmail.com. So that's Discount Copies. They help out a lot. Football season for Put Me in Sports. We are thankful. They take our rosters and they blow them up to 11 by 17. And they're easier to read when the ball's moving. So next batter for Riverton Park going to step in. It's going to be Brody McConnell. Brody McConnell is going to bat. He's been to the plate 8 times. He's got 7 at-bats. He's got 1 hit on the season. Foul tip. Swing and a miss. I should say foul tip. Strike 1 to McConnell. He's got 1 RBI. He has scored 2 runs. Here comes a wind and the pitch from Gerke. Breaking pitch stays inside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brody McConnell, right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, pitcher of record. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball two. Pretty good eyesight at the plate. Usually a pitcher can judge pitches from the batter's box pretty well, and he's doing a fine job. Here comes a 2-1. Pitch comes in outside half. Strike called. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peering in, looking at signals. 1 foot in, 1 foot off. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, drop third. He's going to take off, and Schumer was going to tag him. He's already by him, so he throws it to first base, gets the put out with Gerke on the drop third, and there's 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Next batter going to step in, 5-hitter for Riverton Park. Where's number 1? Eli Roberts. Eli Roberts batting .435 on the season. 24 plate appearances, 23 at-bats. He's got 10 hits. Got 6 singles and 4 doubles. First pitch comes in. They call it a strike, outside edge. He's got 9 RBI. He leads the team in RBI. That's Eli Roberts. Here's the pitch. Outside a ball. Nope, they're going to call that a strike. Going to call that a strike. So the count goes 0-2. Right about need a 40-inch bat for this at-bat so far. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Gerke. Breaking pitch finishes above the zone, ball one. Eli Roberts has scored 4 runs. He's reached base once on a fielder's choice. A little bit of an open stance. Here's a wind and a pitch from Gerke. He'll take one the other way. He'll take it to right field. Almost right at Calvin Reisman, and Reisman makes the catch. So there are 2 out here at the top of the fourth. Riverton Park batting. They're going to send to the plate. It's going to be number 4, Kyle Price. Kyle Price, right fielder. Where's number 4? He's batting .278 on the season. First pitch outside a ball. Kyle Price on base percentage of .350. He's been to the plate 20 times entering this game with 18 plate appearances. Let me say that again. 20 plate appearances and 18 official at-bats. He's got 5 singles. Let me take that back. 5 hits. 4 are singles. He's got 1 double. Here comes the wind and the 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch just misses above the zone. So Kyle Price, he's got 4 RBI. He has walked twice. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Price has scored 4 runs on the season. He's reached base twice by error. Foul ball back to the screen. Protecting the zone just underneath the baseball. Count goes 3-2. 3-2 count. 1 foot on the rubber, 1 foot off. Here comes the wind and the 3-2. Outside ball 4. So Kyle Price jogs down. He'll take a 2-out walk, and he's at first base now. Next batter going to step in, 7-hitter, number 12, center fielder Carson Stark. Carson Stark batting .333. That's his on-base percentage also. He's played in 5 games. This is number 6. He's got 1 hit on the season. Pitch comes in, outside ball 1. Carson Stark, he scored 2 runs for the Panthers. Right-handed batter facing the righty. Here comes the pitch. Right across the dish. Might have been outside half. Count goes 1-1. 1-1 count, 2 outs, bullpen activity down the left field line for Riverton Park. They're going to break it up right now, walk back in. Out of the set position. Pickoff move, first base, safe. Jonah Gerke did get a pickoff earlier in this game. I think it was first inning. Might have been second, but a pretty good move to first base. Jonah Gerke, he does have a good move. Here comes the pitch. Outside and tall. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch. Jonah Gerke. Out of the set position. Here's the 2-1. Going to call it a strike. Right down meridian. Might have been right below the kneecaps. Definitely a hittable pitch. I'd rather have to swing at a low strike than a high strike. Sternum and up is way too tall. Here's the pitch taken off for second base. Going to throw it down to second base. Safe at second base is Kyle Price. So runner in scoring position for Riverton Park. At the plate, Carson Stark. 3-2 count. Working from a stretch, now the set. Check second base. Here's the 3-2. Low and away, ball 4. So Carson Stark will jog down the first base. And Riverton Park have 2 aboard. Next batter, the 8-hitter, number 11, Ben Todd. He is the DH. He's batting .412 on the season. .524 on base percentage. 21 plate appearances, 17 at-bats. He's got 7 hits. 4 are singles, 3 are doubles. Out of the set, here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 0-1 to the 8-hitter. Number 11, Ben Todd. He's the DH in the ballgame. He's got 4 RBI. He's got a runner in scoring position and a guy on first base. So first and second with 2 outs. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from Gerke. Above the zone, ball 2. Let me take that back. 1-1. There we go. 1 ball, 1 strike. 8-hitter Ben Todd. Ben Todd, right-handed batter, facing the righty. Jonah Gerke. Out of the set, he'll check second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-2. So Ben Todd working right there in the batter's box. Out of the set, here comes the 1-2. Foul ball going to go up against the screen, right side. So we'll jog back, pick up the bat, step back in with that 1-2 count. Runners at first and second base. They're going to hover at second base with Gutwein. Nobody holding them on. Here's the pitch. You're going to float one to right field. Playable. Backing up is Reisman. Moves towards the line and makes the catch. So the Knights are out of the inning. Riverton Park lead 2 on base. And the Knights going to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. After 3.5, Central Catholic 4, Riverton Park 2. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in part being brought to you by CaminoandCompany.com. That's Camino and Company. They're in downtown Noblesville, Indiana. Camino and Company is a mobile flower shop brought to you by local flower farmers and providers, small business partners, and the CNC founders. Their mascot is a 1984 El Camino SS, which is owned by V.E. Witham. V.E. Witham is the grandpa of Carly Elbrett. That's Carly Witham Elbrett. Carly is the owner of Camino and Company. And the goal at Camino and Company is to please each customer from their concept to the Camino and Company completion. You can explore their website at Camino-and-company.com. Again, that's Camino-and-company.com. They are now booking 2025 brides. So they're getting ready to bat here. The Knight's going to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. They're going to send you the plate number 13. He's the 9-hitter. That's Calvin Reisman. Reisman made that final catch. They're in the top of the 4th inning in right field for the 3rd out on the Panthers. They throw it down to second base, and Bruce Landis has a cannon. So they're going to walk back up. It's going to be Calvin Reisman. Reisman on the season, he's batting an even 200. Put Me in Sports does not mention batting averages under 200. He's got a 250 on base percentage, 16 plate appearances, 15 at bats. First pitch in there for a ball. Doing the pitching now for Riverton Park is number 8, Jonah Hopkins. Jonah Hopkins, we'll mention on the season, he's got a .64 ERA. He's 2 wins, no losses. Here comes the pitch. Low for a ball. I think Charlie Martin just giving some guys some some room here to pitch. They're not pitching a whole lot of innings. Charlie Martin has 3 games this week. Riverton Park. Pitch comes in, outside edge, strike called. Count goes 2-1. Jonah Hopkins on the pitcher's rubber. He's a righty. Pitch comes in low for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Jonah Hopkins, here's the pitch. Gonna foul one out of play. The batter's box for the Knights, number 13, Calvin Reisman. Calvin Reisman on the season. He's got 3 hits. 2 are singles. 1 is a double. Here comes the 3-2. Going to foul one left side. Left at third base. Backhanded there by Belcher. So Jonah Hopkins on the season. This is appearance number 4. He started 2 games. He's pitched 11 innings entering this inning. Here's the pitch. Going to call him out on strikes. Breaking pitch. Going to jog back to the dugout in disbelief. And I wouldn't blame him. Pretty good vantage point right here. So with 1 out, stepping into bat, Hudson Gutwine. Gutwine, right-handed batter. Gutwine batting .471. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch inside for a ball. So Jonah Hopkins, we'll also mention, he's given up 7 hits. 4 runs, only 1 was earned. Swing and a miss. Gutwine evens the count at 1-1. Jonah Hopkins, he's walked 5. He has struck out 20 batters. Pitch comes in, a ball low, 2-1 count to Gutwine. Jonah Hopkins has faced 53 batters entering this game and thrown 210 pitches. Pitch comes in, breaking pitch, finishes just above the zone. Hopkins wanted a strike. That was a strike on the previous batter, evidently, but not on Gutwine. Here comes a pitch. Above the zone, fastball, ball 4. So 1 runner aboard for the Knights, 1 out. Hudson Gutwine is at first base. Next batter in the lineup for Central Catholic, it's going to be number 12, Alex Schumer. Time is out. Shoe tie right there. Catcher, Bruce Landis. Difficult way to go to tie your shoe with shin guards on. That's what I was trying to think of, shin guards, when Schumer still had his shin guards on waiting to bat a couple of innings ago. Out of a set, Jonah Hopkins, long set. Long set. And here comes the pitch. High and tight. Schumer, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Schumer batting .286. He's played in all 7 games. .423 on base percentage. He got 6 hits, 4 singles, 2 doubles. Next pitch comes in high and tight, ball 2. Schumer has been to the plate 26 times before today's ball game, 21 at bats. He's got 6 RBI. Here comes the pitch from Hopkins. Outside edge, strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike. Peering in, looking at signals, Jonah Hopkins. Catcher, Bruce Landis. Out of the set. Gutwine is at first base for the Knights. Long set. Another long set. Here's a 2-1. Taking off for second is Gutwine. Throws good, but he beats the throw. Gutwine picks up stolen base number 8 on the season. He leads the Knights with stolen bases. So it's a 2-2 count to Alex Schumer. There's 1 out. Knights batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 4-2 ball game. Knights in front. Pitch comes in, low, outside half. I should say low pitch. Count goes 3-2. So Bruce Landis calls timeout. He's going to jog out, talk to pitcher Jonah Hopkins. So he's going to jog back behind home plate. 3-2 count. And Alex Schumer going to step back in. Peering in, looking at signals. Alice stretch. Jonah Hopkins, long stretch. Now the set. He'll check second base. Timeout is called. Might have been in the batter's box. Long time to concentrate. So what had a long time to stare. So time is made live. 3-2 count. Peering in, looking at signals. Jonah Hopkins. Long peer. They're going to hover at second base with the shortstop, Eli Roberts. Modestly, here comes a pitch. High and tight for ball 4. Might have been a breaking pitch, lost the grip. So Knights have 2 aboard, first and second base with 1 out. And coming back out, courtesy runner for the Knights is Bourdonnais, and he's the courtesy runner for the catcher, Alex Schumer. So stepping in, that's number 20, Ali Bourdonnais, doing the running. Going to step back in. It's going to be Lucas Gerke. Left-handed batter facing the righty, Jonah Hopkins. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut for Gerke. Lucas Gerke, he's batting an even 300. 417 on base percentage. It's in 24 at-bats, 24 plate appearances, 20 at-bats. He's got 6 hits, 4 singles, and 2 doubles. Out of the set is Hopkins. He's going to pick off move. Second base. Looked like a pretty good effort right there from Hopkins. Back safely is Gutwein. So Lucas Gerke, 6 hits, 4 singles, 2 doubles. He's got 9 RBI, and he leads the team in RBI. Going to be hit by pitch. That was tight in that left-handed batter's box and just got a piece of his uniform, something similar, and he'll jog down to first base. Home plate umpire stops play and sends him to first. So bases are loaded. Knights have a runner at each base with 1 out. They're loaded up for the 4-hitter. You dream about that. Sometimes it happens. I tell you what, the Reds got 24 runs yesterday against the Orioles. Had a grand slam in the ballgame. The same guy ended up with 7. I don't remember who it was. First pitch comes in a ball high to Stapleton. So the Reds beat the Orioles 24-2. Sound like a good football score with the safety involved. Here's a pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Count goes 1-1. Stapleton batting. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Stapleton batting an even 300. Just like Gerke. Out of the set, Hopkins. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, finishes above the zone, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. 25 plate appearances for Stapleton, 20 at-bats. He's got 6 hits, just like Gerke. They're almost identical in the batting department. Here comes the pitch. A shaky swing. Pitch comes in. Strike called. So Mikey Stapleton, he hit a home run last year right down the left field line as a sophomore. He got every bit of it. See what he can do here with a 2-2 pitch. Help cut, swing and a miss. We'll walk back to the dugout. There are 2 out. Knights batting in the bottom of the 4th. They have 3 runners aboard. Next batter going to step in, number 33, DJ Gilkey. DJ Gilkey on the season, batting .294, 368 on base percentage. He's played in 6 games of the 7. Working from the stretch, Jonah Hopkins. Peering in, out of the set position, checked third base. Nobody holding him on. Here comes the pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. Quick hands through the zone right there. DJ Gilkey. He's got 5 hits on the season. 3 are singles, 2 are doubles. He's got 4 RBI on the season. He's got bases loaded in front of him with 2 out. Out of the set position, Jonah Hopkins. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Going to call a strike. Right there below the kneecaps. Strike called. Count goes 0-2 to Gilkey. Gilkey has drawn 2 walks on the season, and he scored 3 runs for the Knights. Out of the set, Jonah Hopkins. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the Knights are retired. They leave 3 runners aboard here in the bottom of the 4th, and they come up with no runs. So at the end of 4 complete, Central Catholic 4, Riverton Park 2. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21. A real estate IQ that will work for the benefit of you. Lisa specializes in residential and corporate relocations. She has a vast knowledge with more than 25 years of question answering experience. Let Lisa look or let Lisa list. Each home is precious. Lisa Stokes Bear, Century 21, Sheets Company. She is more than highly recommended. She's a real estate agent and a real estate broker. To contact Lisa Stokes Bear by phone or by text message, you can reach her at 317 513 4086. Again, her number is 317 513 4086. The Knights are going to go with a new pitcher. They're going to put a new pitcher on the rubber. That is number 33, DJ Gilkey. They're going to enter at third base with number 28. It's going to be Tatum Adriano. So Tatum Adriano enters the ball game at third base. And DJ Gilkey is now the pitcher for the Knights. He wears number 33. And we'll mention a little bit about DJ Gilkey. We'll talk about DJ Gilkey and his pitching. He got an ERA that's 7.000. He's pitched 1 inning this season. This is appearance number 2. He has faced 5 batters. He's thrown a total of 21 pitches. He has not given up a hit. He's given up 1 run. It was earned. He's walked 2 batters, and he has struck out 1, and that was swinging. So they're going to put the ball in his glove out there at the pitcher's mound. And Riverton Park going to start this inning, top of the 5th, with a 9-hitter, Bruce Landis. Bruce Landis is the catcher. Landis going to step in. He's got 1 hit on the season. He's got 1 RBI. It's not a home run. It could have been, and I'm sure he can. You can step in, right-handed batter. Peering in, looking at signals from the windup. DJ Gilkey. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Tight for a ball. That's some velocity. Landis had to get out of the way of that one in a hurry. So count goes 1-0. Peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Outside edge, strike called. Gilkey has some velocity. Gilkey working right there on the diamond. He's a member of the senior class. Swing and a miss. Count goes 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. DJ Gilkey, 6'2", 180. Pitcher and an infielder. Pitch comes in outside of ball. 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They say the next 2 days going to be beautiful weather. It's just a little bit overcast today. Pitch comes in, swing and a miss. He'll go down swinging, and the Knights have one out here in the top of the fifth. Next batter going to step in. It's going to be the first baseman, number 2, A.J. Goff. A.J. Goff, and he's played in all 7 games, 267 batting average. He's got a 593 on base percentage. Open stance in that left-handed batter's box. Facing the righty, DJ Gilkey. Breaking pitch, might have been a slider, finishes away, ball 1. So A.J. Goff kind of reminds you of an A.J. Zapp. Remember A.J. Zapp played for Center Grove. Pitch comes in, outside edge, strike called. A.J. Zapp played first base, home run hitter in high school. Here comes the pitch. Going to foul one, left side, out of play. Fighting him off right there in the strike zone. 1-2 count, a step back in. A.J. Goff. A.J. Zapp, he played for the Indianapolis Indians. He played for the Bats there in Louisville. Pitch comes in, outside of ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He'll step back in. 2-2 count. Peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside of ball. 3-2 count to A.J. Goff. Peering in, looking at signals. DJ Gilkey. Here comes the full count. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut. The Knights throw it around the infield. There are 2 out. Next batter going to step in, the 2-hitter. Jonah Hopkins. Jonah Hopkins is the pitcher of record. He moved in from second base. Jonah Hopkins batting .412 on the season, .524 on base percentage. First pitch outside of ball. Jonah Hopkins has 7 hits. That's in 6 games. 4 are singles, 3 are doubles. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. He's got 4 RBI, does Hopkins. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Top of the 5th. Here comes the pitch from Gilkey. Foul tip in the glove. Strike. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Foul ball back to the screen. Right just underneath the baseball. So let's track that one down with Charlie Belcher on deck batter. Working from the windup. Here comes a 2-2 again. Ground ball, second base, fielded by Gutwein. He'll gator it. He'll throw over to first base. Lucas Gerke, and they'll get the put out. So the Knights are out of the inning. Riverton Park come up with no hits, no runs, nobody left on base. After 4.5 innings, Knights 4, Panthers 2. And we do thank you for tuning in. And we'll also mention a little bit about Central Catholic schedule. Their schedule has changed just a bit for one game. That's the Attica game. It's supposed to have been on May 14th, but Attica will need that particular date to remake. They'll make up a rain game with a conference team. So they'll need May 14th, and the Knights will play Attica on May 7th. That'll be May 7th. It'll still be here at Central Catholic, but that'll be a May 7th game with Attica. And again, we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies, you can shop them online at noblesvilletrophies.com or stop in, if only, to browse around. They're located at 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. They have trophies, awards, plaques, and more. They have fast turnaround. Prices are low. They're so low you may want to be a repeat customer. Noblesville Trophies, 1740 South 10th Street, Noblesville, Indiana. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can reach them by phone at 317-773-7391. Again, 317-773-7391 or online, noblesvilletrophies.com. Next batter going to step in for the Knights. Here in the bottom of the fifth inning, going to be number 3, Jackson Kane. Jackson Kane batting .333 in 7 games. 500 on base percentage, 25 plate appearances, 18 at bats, 6 hits, 5 are singles, 1 is a double. First pitch comes inside and low, ball 1. Jackson Kane has 3 RBI. He's been walked 6 times in those 7 games. Here comes a pitch from Hopkins. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. Jackson Kane has scored 7 runs for the Knights. He's got 4 stolen bases, has not been thrown out. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch above the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1 count. He'll step back in. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Here's the pitch. Inside half, knee high. Strike called. Count goes even at 2-2. So Jackson Kane a year ago led the Knights with 3 home runs. Here comes the 2-2. Outside and low, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch on the way from Jonah Hopkins, working from the windup. Peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. So Kane will go down swinging. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Next batter going to step in for the Knights, number 41, Brennan Van Kirk. Van Kirk playing left field for the Knights. Van Kirk, best batting average on the team at .526. Here comes the pitch. Low for ball 1. Van Kirk, a .545 on base percentage. He's got 10 hits. He's got 10 singles. He got a double in this game. Here comes the pitch. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Count goes 1-1. Van Kirk has 8 RBI. He's just 1 RBI behind Lucas Gerke. He has 9. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch finishes above the zone, ball 2. 2-1 count. Van Kirk has 8 RBI as mentioned. 8 runs scored. Swing and a miss. Count goes 2-2. He's got 3 stolen bases. Brendan Van Kirk has been hit once in the batter's box. Here comes the pitch. Going to strike him out. Let's say he dropped. You're going to say strikeout. It might have been the lower area of the kneecap. I look at the body language of Coach Bourdonnais. Not sure if he thought that was low or just thought Van Kirk should have been swinging, protecting the plate with 2 strikes. Stepping into bat for the Knights. 28, Tatum. Adriano. First pitch, strike called. Adriano, just a freshman. I tell you what, if just looking at him first time when I saw him play, I would have thought he was a sophomore or so. Here's the pitch, outside a ball. Count goes 1-1. Adriano on the season. He's got a .273 on base percentage. He's got 1 hit. He's got a double. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Count goes 1-2 to Tatum Adriano. He's a righty. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. Leonard setting up outside there, trying to get a fishing pitch. Adriano says nothing doing. Count goes 2-2. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Breaking pitch stayed high. Count goes 3-2. Adriano looking for walk number 3 or base hit. He'll swing and miss, and he'll go down swinging. So the Knights are out of the inning. Knights come up with no hits, no runs, nobody left on base. After 5 complete, Central Catholic 4, Riverton Park 2. And again, we'll mention this game is in part being brought to you by Scott G. That's Scott Gashaw. He's from Tifton. He's a quality individual. and I like him quite a lot. We'll mention he wants to say this. He says, when time is good, when you share, you should share and share alike. Support Indiana middle school and high school athletics. And we'll also mention before we get back into live action, we want to spotlight a business that's been printing success in our community for 50 incredible years. That's McCormick Printing Impressions. They're in Tipton. From business cards to banners, t shirts to office supplies, MPI is your local full service print shop delivering quality, great service, and creativity in every project. Next time you need something printed with perfection, turn to MPI because at McCormick Printing Impressions, they don't just print, they help you make your best impression. That's McCormick Printing Impressions in Tifton. You can reach them by phone at 765-675-9556. So stepping in for Riverton Park going to be number 5, Charlie Belcher. Charlie Belcher going to step in, 3-hitter. Here's the wind and the pitch from Gilkey. Swing, foul ball, just foul of third base on the ground. Tatum Adriano gives it a look, lets it go near the bullpen. They've got a lefty throwing down there, Riverton Park bullpen. You got the sunglasses up on the bill of the hat. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Belcher. Breaking pitch finishes outside, a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. First batter, top of the 6th inning for Riverton Park. Breaking pitch finishes, got a piece of the zone, I guess, inside. Count goes 1-2. Working from the windup, peering in, looking at signals. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Jammed him, swinging a miss. They'll go down swinging. There's 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. So next batter going to step in. We're going to see at the plate, it's going to be number 3, Blake Todd. Blake Todd, I would guess, brother of Ben Todd. Right-handed batter getting a chance to bat here in the top of the 6th. Healthy cut, swing and a miss. Blake Todd on the season, batting .231. He's played in all 7 games, .353 on-base percentage. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Going to be a foul tip in the glove. Strike. Count goes 0-2 to Todd. He's got 19 plate appearances, 13 at-bats. He's got 3 hits. Pitch comes in inside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blake Todd has 2 singles and 1 double. Here comes the wind and the pitch from Gilkey. In a foul one, right side, out of play. So Blake Todd going to stay in that box with that 1-2 count. Blake Todd on the season has 5 RBI. He scored 2 runs. He's been hit by pitch 3 times. Pitch is a little bit upstairs, a swing and miss. And he'll go down swinging. And there are 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Next batter going to step in. Shortstop, number 1, Eli Roberts. Roberts batting .435 as a batter and on-base percentage. Here comes the pitch. Back to the pitcher. Going to be fielded by DJ Gilkey. He'll jog towards first. He'll underhanded flip it to Lucas Gerke, and the Knights are out of the inning. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Knights are going to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning after 5.5 innings. Knights 4, Panthers 2. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Honey Creek Resort. Honey Creek Resort, with 840 acres of fantastic nature, fun, and recreation adventures, are only a 1-day's drive away. We made that drive. We're from Arcadia. It took us 7 hours to get over there. It was 430 miles, and it was worth every minute of the travel. Honey Creek Resort in southern Iowa, where fellow Hoosiers Beth and Terry Henderson have an amazing lodge in cabins with fabulous fishing, boating, golfing, horse carriages, and much, much more. Truly amazing adventures and hospitality await you at honeycreekresort.com. Make your group, business, and family getaway reservations today. You can reach them by phone at 641 724 1450. Again, that's 641 724 1450. And the Knights are going to send up Gus Sandberg. Gus Sandberg wears number 30 for the Knights. He's got an even 200 batting average, 333 on base. He's been to the plate 6 times, 5 at bats. He's got 1 hit. It's a single. He also has 2 RBI. He's walked once and he scored a run. First pitch comes in, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. He'll step back in. Right-handed batter's box. Here comes the wind and the pitch. Outside a ball. We're hoping to get Gus back on the pitcher's rubber. Tell you what, we can sure use him. He pitched well a year ago. Pitch comes in, short hops the glove. Landis couldn't hold it. Going to be ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gus Sandberg step back in. Gus pitched well as a freshman. He's a junior now. Pitch comes in, low and outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Gus Sandberg has 1 walk on the season. 3-1 count. Right-handed batter facing the righty. Jonah Hopkins. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Gus Sandberg, you're going to jog down to first base. I think Coach Bourdonnais is going to call for a pinch runner. Not quite sure. Bullpen activity down the right field line for the Knights is Tatum Adriano. He's getting loose. So Gus Sandberg going to give way to pinch runner. It's going to be Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, first base runner for the Knights, running for Sandberg. So next batter for the Knights stepping in. 1 hitter, number 9, Hudson Gutwein. Working out a stretch, now the set, Hopkins. Here's the pitch. High for a ball. Might have lost the grip on that curveball. Might have been trying to breaking pitch. Back in the rubber, a check first base out of the stretch. Now the set. And home plate umpire is going to hold up a quick pitch because Hudson had just stepped in and he was already close to the set position. Out of the set now, here's the pitch. You're going to take 1 high fly ball to left field. A lot of air under it. Coming into his left to make the catch, Colette Sanders. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Next batter going to step in for the Knights going to be number 12, Alex Schumer, left-handed batter. Schumer batting .286. In 7 games, he's played in all 7, .423 on-base percentage. Out of the set position, Jonah Hopkins. Righty facing the lefty. The lefty is Alex Schumer, a long set position for Hopkins. Here comes the pitch. Outside edge, knee high, called strike. No balls, 1 strike. Schumer, 6 hits on the season, 4 singles, 2 doubles, 6 RBI. He's walked 4 times. Out of the set. Here comes the 0-1. Pitch comes in above the zone, ball 2. Schumer on the season has scored 5 runs. He's got 3 stolen bases, has not been thrown out. He's been hit by pitch 1 time. Out of the set, here comes the 1-1 pitch from Hopkins. High and tight, ball 2. 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. 4-2 ball game. The scoring happened in the first 2 innings. Been blank ever since. Out of the set, Hopkins, here's the pitch. Outside edge, strike call. 2-2 count to Alex Schumer. 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He'll step back in. Left-handed batter facing the righty. Jonah Hopkins peering in. Out of the set position. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Take it off for second base. Foul ball. Colton Minnick was on his horse. Foul ball back to the screen. He'll jog back to first base. So Mikey Stapleton is in the hole. He's retrieving foul balls back to the screen. Don't want the on-deck batter to get winded. Out of set position, Jonah Hopkins. Here comes a 2-2 once again to Schumer. Foul ball in the box here. Off the leg. Schumer shakes it off. He's okay. He has no apparatus on his lower leg. He's a tough guy, just like his brother Ryan. So peering in, looking at signals. Out of the stretch, now the set. Here comes the 2-2 pitch again. Going to be pickoff move. Pickoff move, nearly got him. The throw beat him to the bag. But Minnie got the hand in there before the tag was applied by Goff. I tell you what, Riverton Park, they did have some fans travel, and they thought they had him picked off. Here comes the pitch. Strike three, you're going to lock him up. He'll go down looking. And might have thought that was a low strike. But he'll jog back to the dugout. He's a kid that don't get rattled very easy. Stepping in, 2 outs. It's going to be Lucas Gerke. Left-handed batter facing the righty Hopkins. Out the set. Here comes the first, no pickoff move, no throw. He steps off the back, becomes an infielder, no throw. Out of the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch, outside edge, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. 2 out. Runner aboard at first base is Colton Minnick. Colton Minnick, a member of the sophomore class. Out of the set, here comes the 0-1. Low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 count. 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 4-2 ball game. Knights by 2. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Taking off for second base is Minnick. Throw goes down. Throw was perfect, right where it needed to be, and Colton Minnick had to slide right into it. So he was on his horse, and Lucas Gerke, should they bat again, he'll be the first man up in the bottom of the 7th inning. So the Knights leave 1 aboard. They come up with no runs, and they got no hits in the bottom of the 6th. So Riverton Park going to bat here in the top of the 7th inning. At the end of 6 completes, Central Catholic 4, Riverton Park 2. And as mentioned, all the scoring happened in the first 2 innings. Both teams got 2 in the first. Knights got 2 in the bottom of the 2nd. So baseball is baseball. It's a pitcher's duo. We'll mention this game is also in part being brought to you by Reynolds Farm Equipment. They are family owned and operated since 1955. You can increase your yield. They have tractors, combines, corn pickers, lawnmowers, etc. Genuine John Deere equipment. New and used equipment available. Extraordinarily the best in the business. Reynolds, you can visit them at their Atlanta, Indiana location. That's at 1451 East 276th Street, Atlanta, Indiana. That's just 2 miles south of the Tipton-Hamilton County line. They have 5 locations. That's Reynolds Farm Equipment. To reach Reynolds Farm Equipment by phone, simply dial 800-333-6947. Again, Reynolds Farm Equipment, 800-333-6947. Reynolds Farm Equipment. So they put the ball in the glove of DJ Gilkey. First batter in the top of the 7th inning for Riverton Park. Going to be number 4, Kyle Price. Right-handed batter. He plays right field. Severely closed stance. First pitch from Gilkey. Short off the glove of Schumer. Going to be ball 1. So Kyle Price on the season batting .278. You get a 350 on base percentage. Kyle Price has played in all 7 games. He's got 5 hits, 4 singles, and 1 double. Next pitch, foul ball, left side, left of third base. Tatum Adriano fields it, throws it back to Gilkey. 1 ball, 1 strike. Steps back in. Ball's live. Working from the windup. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Lets it go by. It's a ball outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. The wind has kind of let go. It's pretty much stale right now. Pitch comes in, outside edge. A little closer. Count goes 2-2. That flag is just laying down. And here comes the 2-2 pitch to Price. Take it the other way. He might have got the gap, giving it a look right there in right field. It was Reisman. Couldn't come up with it. It's going to be a slide-in double off the bat of Kyle Price. So Riverton Park has a runner in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Next batter going to step in. We're going to see number 12, Carson Stark. Carson Stark, center fielder, 7th spot in the lineup. Out of a set position. Gilkey checks second. Here's the pitch. Outside of ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Carson Stark batting .333. He's got 1 hit on the season. Out of the set, here comes the pitch. Breaking pitch didn't break. It's going to be a hit by pitch in that right-handed batter's box. Carson Stark going to jog down like it didn't hurt, but I'm pretty sure it did. So you're going to shake that left arm. Might have got him in the tricep of that left arm. So timeout on the surface. Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out. Going to talk with his infield. So Riverton Park has a runner at first and second base. At first base runner, Carson Stark, represents the tying run. There's nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. And we'll also mention today's ball game is being brought to you in parts by AGM Auto, LLC. AGM doesn't only work under the hood. AGM works toward the recovery and restoration of the many now beautiful cars, which now have showroom treasures, mechanically and cosmetically. AGM Auto, you can reach them on website, agmauto.com, or you can reach them by phone at 317-984-5283. That's 317-984-5283. Back to live action. Left-handed batter's box. Ben Todd, number 11. We'll double check that. Batter, here comes the square to bunt. Inside a ball. In the batter's box is number 4, Collette Sanders. Collette Sanders going to bat for himself. He's been playing left field throughout the game, and Ben Todd going to step aside as a DH and let Collette Sanders bat here in the top of the 7th. So runners at first and second base for Riverton Park. Nobody out. Top of the 7th. Knights in front, 4-2. Pickoff move, second base, back safely. No tag applied by Mikey Stapleton, the shortstop. And stepping back in, right-handed batter's box. Collette Sanders. Peering in, looking at signals out of the stretch. Now the set. He'll check second. Here's the pitch from Gilkey. Square to bunt. He'll pull the bat back. They're going to throw the ball into center field. And they're going to retrieve it. Thrown back in by Shalenko. Schumer threw a strike, but the runner kind of shielded Mikey Stapleton. Difficult catch to make. And that's why it went center field. So 2-0 count. Out of the set for Gilkey. Collette Sanders. Going to try to put a bunt down. It's going to be a bunt attempt. It'll be a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. On deck batter is the 9-hitter, number 18, Bruce Landis, the catcher. Runners at first and second for Riverton Park. 2 balls, 1 strike. Out of the set, square to bunt again. He'll let it go by. Ball 3. 3-1 count. Gerke at first base. He was coming in on the bunt attempt. 3-1 count. Working from the stretch. Now the set. He'll check second. 3-1 pitch. He'll square to bunt again. Foul tip. They're going to throw it to second base from Schumer. Trying to find Kyle Price too far off the bag. He gets back safely. So it's a full count. They're saying 2-2 in the box. Not quite sure. The home plate umpire might have signaled 2-2. But we'll find out after this pitch. Gilkey out of the set. Here's the pitch. Lets it go by. And it's going to be ball 4. It was 3-2. They're going to see if he checked his swing. It looked like he did. The C position umpire said he did not go. So bases are now loaded here in the top of the 7th. And nobody out. Infield is going to move in. Play for the force out somewhere, maybe home plate. Adriano is going to play even with the bag at third base. Now Mikey Stapleton in the backup. They're going to go to regular depth. So here comes the first pitch to Landis. Outside a ball. Bruce Landis wears number 18. He's got 1 hit on the season. He's got 1 RBI. Here comes a wind and a pitch from Gilkey. Right down meridian, strike called. Count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Step back in the rubber. Pitch from a stretch. Gilkey. Out of the set. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Gonna take one. First base. Catch is going to be made off the glove and back in the glove. Lucas Gerke records the first out here in the top of the 7th. So a little soft line drive to first base. Landis is retired. And now the Riverton Park Panthers are going to send to the plate the leadoff batter in today's ball game, A.J. Goff. A.J. Goff wears number 2, batting .267, .593 on base percentage. Gilkey out of the set. Here's the pitch. Going to call a strike, inside edge. A.J. Goff in amazement, and me also. So called strike, inside edge, severely tight. 0-1 count. Out of set. Here comes the pitch from Gilkey. Outside a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. A.J. Goff has 4 hits on the season. He's played in all 7 games. This is their 8th game. They're 6-1. Knights are also 6-1. Here comes the pitch. Outside a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. A.J. Goff, he's got 3 hits. Singles, I should say. 4 hits. He's got 1 triple. Left-handed batter, timeout called. Alex Schumer jogs out. Talking with Gilkey, DJ Gilkey, the pitcher. And A.J. Goff has walked 6 times, believe it or not. He's the leadoff batter. He has no RBIs on the season. Out of the set, Gilkey. Here comes the 2-1 pitch to Goff. Above the zone, ball 3. Nowhere to put him. 3-1 count. A.J. Goff, first baseman, batting top of the 7th inning. It's a 4-2 ball game. Knights in front. Out of the set, here's the pitch. Ball 4, and now it's a 4-3 ball game. So Riverton Park crosses the plate. That's number 4, Kyle Price, touching the plate. And timeout on the diamond. Coach Bourdonnais going to walk out. Probably going to see a change right here. He's allowed 3 trips. 3rd trip he had to change. And he's going to talk with them right there. Maybe he's going to leave him in. Not sure. No bullpen activity over there. They're going to go with the pitcher. They're going to bring one from the field of play. So bases are still loaded. There's 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. So they're going to bring 3rd baseman Tatum Adriano over, freshman, He'll get some warm up tosses, and DJ Gilkey will go back to third base. So he gets some warm ups on the infield. They'll throw the ball around, and Tatum Adriano going to get some warm up tosses. And I will mention a little bit about Tatum and his pitching. He's got a 1.400 ERA. He has pitched in 5 innings this year. This is appearance number 3. He has not started. He's not a starting pitcher. He's a relief pitcher. And he's faced 19 batters. He has thrown 75 pitches. He's allowed 1 hit, 1 run, and that 1 run was earned. And he's walked 2 batters. He has struck out 7. 2 of those batters went down looking, and he has hit 1 batter, 1 hit by pitch along the way. And we'll also mention today's ball game is in parts being brought to you by Fritz in Fishers and Fritz in Noblesville. They are celebrating 43 years in business in the heart of the Nickel Plate District. Late model cars and trucks, each vehicle pre-delivery inspection. They have 2 Hamilton County locations, 1 in Fishers, 1 in Noblesville. Their dealership in Fishers, you can reach them there by phone at 317-842-2228. At their dealership along State Road 32, that's in Noblesville dealership, you can reach them by phone 317-773-2232. FritzInFishers.com. Stepping into bat. Number 8, Jonah Hopkins. Pitcher of record. Bases loaded, 1 out. Out of set, first pitch from Adriano. Going to go to second base. Going to go for 2, 4, 6, 3, and that's going to end the ball game. Coach Charlie Hopkins can't hardly believe it. What an inning they had going. They got 1 back. I tell you what, at the end of the ball game, Knight's not going to need to bat in the 7th. Final score: Central Catholic 4, Riverton Park 3. What a good ball game. I knew they were 6-1. I knew the ERAs were low, and I knew we was looking for a good game here tonight. And we thank you for listening. And we'll mention Knights are going to play tomorrow. Knights are going to have a home game tomorrow, 5:30 start time. It's going to be with West Lafayette, the Red Devils. And then they'll play the Red Devils again on Wednesday. That'll be a 2-game set for the Hoosier Conference divisional round. And we'll also mention Riverton Park. Riverton Park will have tomorrow off, but they'll play again. They'll have a 6 o'clock game on Wednesday, the 23rd. It'll be at Terre Haute, South Vigo. And then they'll play again on Friday, the 25th, South Vermilion. That'll be an away game. They got 3 away games this week. We do thank you for tuning in, and we thank Charlie Martin, athletic director and baseball coach for Riverton Park, for his hospitality. He's a great man. Appreciate him. And Coach Bourdonnais, definitely appreciate him. And if you want to stick around, we'll probably talk to Coach Bourdonnais here in just a bit. You might have to hold on for just a bit. But we thank my wife back home for sound check. And we'll mention, no matter if you're home or away, if you're doing the teaching and the learning, don't let him go. Keep the fire burning. Pardon me?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm live. Go. Yeah. Can I hand this to you? When coming up here anytime? Oh, it's your host. Yeah.
You put us back up here on Sunday to do the one night game?
Oh, really? Go ahead, now, please. We're post game right now. I'm going to talk to Coach Bourdonnais. Coach Bourdonnais, 4-3. You knew this was going to be a toughie.
Yeah, I didn't think we did a very good job at the plate, especially in the middle innings. Our approach with two strikes, especially, was not very good. We left a lot of runners on. Had an opportunity to kind of break the game open, a couple innings there, and we didn't do it. We let them hang around and had to have a high wire act there in the seventh to get out of that with the victory.
So both teams showed up 6-1. Riverton Park made a drive, pretty deep drive like you did last year, and 6-1. They thought they were going to be in a ball game.
Yeah, they're a good ball club. Charlie Martin does a great job with them. Have a lot of respect for him and his program, and we knew they were going to come in here and give us everything we wanted. we're just fortunate to get out here with a victory.
Tomorrow, you're going to start a 2-game set with West Lafayette. That means quite a bit.
Yeah, it's conference, big conference games, rivalry games, intercity games. So it should be easy to get up for the next 2 days. And I know we'll have to play a little bit sharper than we did tonight, but we're looking forward to the opportunity.
They're saying the weatherman is going to tell us it's going to be good.
Yeah, we're looking forward to 70 and sunny. So we haven't had too many of those days yet. So 70 sunny and playing your conference rival should be pretty easy to get up and play with a lot of energy tomorrow.